Alrighty, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 4, Episode 45, Hit the Books, the podcast all about sports betting, the best bets you should be taking, and everything surrounding sports. This week, just Huff and I on the episode this week, but we got lots to go over in the NFL, some touches in the NBA, the MLB, as well as some recapping in the golf world to wrap us up here this week. But let's jump in without further ado and introduce my co-host, Huff. What do you got for us?
Yeah, not much going on. Just wrapped up our final major of the year in the golf world. So we're truly in the dog days of summer as we wait till football to come back. I know we have a Hall of Fame game coming up next week that I'm sure we'll get into. Anything to talk about an NFL spread and total for a little bit, get us back in the mix coming into the NFL season. But Scotty back on top again. Two majors in the 2025 season. His fourth of his career. He's already three-quarters of the way to the Grand Slam. Great weekend in golf. Love to see that guy win. He did it again in dominating fashion.
Absolutely. We got some great stuff on Scotty here, some great stats on him coming up here. But let's start off quick here with the NFL. TJ Watt of the Pittsburgh Steelers signed a 3-year, $123 million contract extension, making him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history with an average salary of $41 million per year, $108 million guaranteed fully at signing. It reflects his status as one of the league's top defensive players. I believe he has 108 sacks, so I believe that was why the number 108 was
Really, I
decided.
didn't know. I didn't know
Yeah,
that
that was what I heard.
for the fully, yeah, for the guaranteed because he wanted the
Yes.
41 million a year because Garrett gets 40. A lot of the mixed emotions in Pittsburgh about this. People saying, you overpaid a 30-year-old edge rusher. Some people saying, like me, he's been your franchise for the past how many years? He's been a staple of this team since he got here, face of the defense, the most expensive defense in the NFL, and that this just adds to it. I like the move. You're only paying Rodgers what 13 million for 1 year. You have the quarterbacks behind him are Mason Rudolph, who makes maybe 2 million a year, I want to say, and then Will Howard, who's on a rookie deal. So the guys behind him in our quarterback room, even including Rodgers, for an average NFL quarterback room, just around 15, 16 million is not much to be spending for the quarterback position. That's the Steelers have some money to play with, and then obviously next year, this is Watt's first year of this deal, or I guess it's a 3-year extension, so he has 4 years left with the Steelers now because we had him under control for next year. But we're going to be drafting a quarterback next year, technically, when this deal kicks in. Another quarterback on a rookie deal. Rodgers won't be around. It'll be a rookie and Howard and probably Rudolph again. So another cheap year of a quarterback room. I think they have the most expensive defense in the NFL and the 30th overall expensive offense, like least 30th, I guess you'd say second or third most least expensive. Sorry, I can't fucking talk. But they're allocating all their money on defense. That's what the Steelers have done for obviously our whole life. I like the move. You get your guy back. The rest of the team feels like, they got their leader back. You see them reporting to training camp today. Ramsey, Highsmith, Herbig, Hayward, all these guys, praising Watt that he's here. Good to have him back in the building. Good to have 90 around. I think it was nothing but good for the Steelers, and I think this gives them kind of a good jump and some good vibes heading into training camp before the start of the season.
Heck yeah. Absolutely love that for the Steelers here. We'll be talking about him shortly here when we go over our top pass rushers in the league here going into this season. But yeah, the Steelers definitely in that still in the bottom
They're
10% or 20% of the league of used cap.
So what do we? I've heard we still have a shit ton of cap left, and obviously we have like I think 13 picks in next year's draft. Everyone's saying the Steelers need to do all this, do that. I like what they're doing. They're
We're
securing their guys that we've had around. They're secure. They're bringing in new pieces like Jalen Ramsey, DK Metcalf on a long-term deal. Um, and then next year drafts in Pittsburgh, we have I feel like a pick every 5 picks. I wouldn't mind us seeing maybe move a couple of those for some NFL ready guys, but depending on the quarterback that we get and where we're sitting in the first round, I think it's a shoe-in. Steelers go quarterback in the first round next year, and that's why they like to, or that's why I like to think they did this deal with TJ Watt. I don't think there was ever a scenario where Watt was going to wear a different jersey. People were springing up what happened to him with his brother, and he had to leave Houston. Houston basically just like fire sailed their whole team. They traded Watt, they traded DeAndre Hopkins. They were looking to get rid of Watson. Look, that ended up looking like being a great move to get rid of him after what happened. But they shipped out 3 faces of that franchise down there. So I don't think it's a little bit, I think this is a bit different of a scenario. I don't think there was ever a scenario where he was going to be an Eagle or some of the other teams they were throwing around, Commanders. It was going to be in the NFC if they did move him, but um, yeah, glad to see 90 locked up for the foreseeable future. Most likely keeping him in the black and gold till he retires.
Heck yeah. All right, lots of good stuff there. Let's keep it moving here in the NFL. Let's jump into our positional rankings here for this week. Pass rushers are on the list for today. Huff, do you have your list ready?
Yes, I do. It's a pretty. I think this might be the exact list I gave out last year. Not much has changed in this. Obviously, so some young guys coming up: Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns. A couple of these guys just not fighting for that top five yet. I'm going to go Trey Hendrickson at number 5, who is looking for a new deal from the Cincinnati Bengals. Did not report to camp. Posted on his Instagram story that he is down in Florida, not planning on coming to camp at least today, anytime soon. Who knows what's going to happen there? He said his deal or his offer from the Bengals was atrociously low. So he is not happy with what's going on in Cincinnati. They paid all their receivers. They paid Burrow. And if you look at the numbers of when he's on the field and when he's not for that Bengals defense, it's very similar to my boy TJ Watt over here in Pittsburgh is when he's on the field versus not. So that's why I gave Hendrickson the nod at 5. Max Crosby at number 4. He's the one that reminds me the most of TJ, that motor that just kind of never stops. I like Crosby at the 4. Number 3, I'm going to go with Mackey's Dallas Cowboy, Micah Parsons, who also is looking for a new deal. Jerry Jones had some interesting things to say about that. But we won't get into that yet. Micah Parsons at 3, Myles Garrett at 2, and number 1. I think the best, most impactful defensive player in the NFL is our Pittsburgh Steeler, TJ Watt, fresh off that new deal. I think he is in heavy conversation for a Defensive Player of the Year award this year. He's been gypped of it a couple times by Garrett. I think now that he gets his deal and gets what he wanted, he said the only thing he wanted to do after signing that deal was get in the gym and get ready for the season. I like him to come out this year and show why he earned that $41 million deal or $41 million a year deal.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Definitely a lot of names that could fit into the top 5 here. Like you said, you had Trey Hendrickson in there, but like I'd put Max Crosby at 5, Nick Bosa at 4,
Bosa was the one I had to cut out.
Yeah, Hutchinson at 3, Micah Parsons at 2, TJ Watt, and then like Myles Garrett, great and all, but like since he won Defensive Player of the Year, I feel like I haven't heard his name.
I don't know what his numbers were last year. Obviously, Cleveland's always it's that kind of player on a bad team. It's you're not going to hear his name much with how bad Cleveland was last year, the dumpster fire they were. I think that people expect them to be again this year, but um, I see what you mean. I don't know what his numbers were last year, and the defensive stats are not easy to look up on ESPN's app.
14 sacks,
All right, so yeah,
47
he was
combined
definitely up
tackles.
there.
Yeah, for sure.
Benito, that's another one. I didn't look at this list. The Benito guy for Denver, he's pretty good. He could definitely be up there. Let's see, who else did I miss for some more? Will Anderson of the Texans, he'll be up there probably in the next couple of years.
Khalil
Trayvon
Mack.
Walker, Khalil Mack. Yeah, there's a couple. That's probably 5 through 10 area.
Absolutely. For sure.
Yeah.
Like that's a perfect spot for those guys.
Yeah. I think it's a solid list. I don't know what we're doing next week. Probably D line, pass. No, that was pass
I
rushers,
can
linebackers.
check.
I don't really know. I don't know the exact
Next week
scheduling of
is
it.
linebackers.
All right. Back into some Steelers talk here.
Hell yeah. Alrighty, lots of good stuff there for our positional rankings here for this week. Pass rushers, like Huff said, we will be doing shit, what did I just say? Linebackers here next week. But staying on the topic of the NFL here, on October 26th, the Pittsburgh Steelers will wear their newly designed 1933 throwback uniforms against the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football at Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh. Huff, what are you thinking on these new uniforms? Lots of yellow, a little bit of black, yellow helmet. What are you thinking?
I like it. It's something different. Steelers are kind of like in that same realm of I feel like the Yankees, the Red Wings, like those teams that are like so classic. They don't like to change their uniforms. They don't like to do all these new flashy things. And I think this is the quote unquote flashiest you'll ever see the Steelers get, going back to their 1933 original jerseys with these stripes. I like the logo on the shoulder, on the whatever you call that, on the crest, whatever you want to call it. Again, same as the Bumblebee jerseys, whatever 10, 15 years ago now that was. I never loved the gold pants. I don't love them here. They do play. I understand why they do that. I think black pants would look a little too much. I think they'll look good on the field. I love the white numbers. I like how this time they didn't do the I forget how the numbers were the last time they did these jerseys. They've worn these jerseys other than the first season. I think they wore them one time in the 90s, I saw, and the number was like opposite on the shoulder up here. It was weird. So I like how they did the big numbers. Love the yellow helmets. I'm excited to see the Steelers wear these things.
Yeah, I think they're gonna look good, and I think they're the
I saw
perfect.
someone on Twitter say it was nice of the Steelers to bring back their jerseys from when Aaron Rodgers was born.
Feels make them feel right at home.
He'd
Um,
be 90 some years old,
Jesus.
whatever, 1933,
Yeah, I
94.
really like the jerseys personally. I think the yellow is a good
I don't
different
Here's the other thing,
approach.
I don't love the back of them, how the back is a black number with a black nameplate and there's no stripes or anything on the back. I think the
Yeah,
stripes should be on the back too.
I agree. I think it should be like identical, the
Yeah,
yellow with the black like
yeah,
V's and stripes.
yeah, I was looking at buying one and I saw it and, like, when you look at the back of it, it's just like a yellow shirt with a black writing on it on the back.
Right. Yeah. Interesting to say the least. I think they'll look good on the field. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
think they will.
I mean, pop it against the green and all that stuff. So interesting.
Yeah, I like
Unlike the
them.
Steelers, to say the least, I
And,
guess.
like, I usually like these, like, kinda quirky jerseys the NFL does. Everyone hated those ones the Giants did last year. I like those.
Yeah, those are cool.
Those everyone thought those were hideous. I thought those were kinda cool. This obviously the bumblebee jerseys with the Steelers.
Patriots
Um,
red is cool.
yeah, there's a couple of these throwbacks that I really like. Obviously, there's some teams that just kinda have unfair advantages, like the Bucks. Those creamsicle ones are sick.
Yeah.
Everyone loves those. The Seahawks throwbacks, everyone loves those. Um, but I like what the Steelers did here. I did not want them to just do the black jersey with the yellow numbers again and do a yellow helmet.
Right.
We knew the yellow helmet was coming. We just didn't know what the jersey was, and I'm glad they did something new.
Me too, for sure. Heck yeah, lots of good stuff there. We'll definitely be touching more on that when those jerseys are used in that game. Definitely an interesting element
Where's
to
it
add to
against
that game.
Packers? Sunday Night Football, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be there.
Yeah.
That'll be good. Alrighty, we got another point here in the NFL. Titans quarterback Will Levis will undergo surgery on his throwing shoulder and miss the entire 2025 season. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reported on Monday. Per sources informed by the situation, the team later confirmed this move. The 26-year-old suffered an AC joint sprain in Week 4 of the 2024 season after diving for a first down against the Dolphins. Levis initially returned in Week 6 after the Titans' bye, but missed the team's next 3 games due to his shoulder following that. Any thoughts on this, Huff Titans and Will Levis?
Yeah, I don't know why you wait this long to get this surgery. If this is something that's been going on since week 4 of last year, I know he's obviously kind of in job security down there in Tennessee with, you draft a quarterback first overall. Everyone wants to see Cam Ward next year. I think you're going to. The one thing I look at that's funny with the Titans right now is they were in a press conference. Their head of football operations and their president or GM and president, whatever those fucking titles are, these guys get. Two of them were sitting up there, and the one reporter asked them, "Do you think this Tennessee Titans team that you're trotting on the field tomorrow for training camp can win the Super Bowl?" And the one guy literally laughed out loud, like, yeah, no shot. But
Yeah.
and the other dude was like, I mean, I know we have a lot of work to do with this roster. We're not going to say we can't compete. Like, gave the stereotypical answer, but the one dude
Right.
literally busted out laughing. I think the Titans are going to be bad this year. I think Cam Ward is obviously going to be a upside. I don't think he's going to be anything crazy. But I think, yeah, Levis. I don't think he'll have much of a chance after this. After the Titans, I don't. I never thought he had that much of an upside coming out of Kentucky. I never thought he was going to be anything crazy. Where I don't remember exactly where he got drafted. Maybe second or third round. I don't think it was first. I know it wasn't first, but um, yeah, it's looking like it's Cam Ward's job down there in Tennessee now. If it wasn't already.
Right. Going to be an interesting landscape to look at out of Tennessee here. Didn't they just have another scandal happen?
Who?
Oh no, the Titans. There was a noose found at the building of their new stadium.
Yeah, where they're building their stadium. I saw that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. That's interesting. All construction stops, all that
Yeah,
stuff,
they'll
and
pause building and everything for that. Like,
I
what are they
don't
gonna do?
know.
Try to find who put it there?
That's what I mean. Like, it, I mean, construction workers are idiot. It can be idiots. Like, maybe they did it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I know exactly what you like. I can't believe they're just like, "Yep, pause, $4 billion project, pause."
yeah,
Like,
I don't
it's
get it.
like, yeah, I don't
It's
know.
a terrible thing. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong. Like,
exactly.
people shouldn't be putting stuff like that there. But
Even if it is just like, "Oh, just throw that there," and then someone saw it as
y-
that, like, who knows?
yeah,
I didn't see
literally.
a
I
picture
mean,
of it. It could have
me
been
neither.
very obviously a noose, and I'm just saying it was a rope thrown over a thing, but, like, I
Right.
don't know.
I have no idea. I
Yeah.
haven't seen a picture of it either, so
I did see that. I didn't know that's what you were talking about, though.
yeah, it's thrown me off, to say the least, but alrighty, keeping it moving here. Von Miller has agreed to terms on a one-year contract with the Washington Commanders. Does Miller still have enough left in the tank to help out Washington here this season with Jaden Daniels?
I think it'll be a similar scenario what he was last year in Buffalo, come in on certain plays, certain packages. I do think he can add to this defense. They do still have some nice pieces over there in Washington. They kind of did some, resurgence on that defensive line. But I like some of those pieces on that defense, led by the veteran Bobby Wagner, who helped get them where they were last year. An older player, same thing with Von Miller coming in there, former Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP. I think it's nothing but good things for Washington out of this move. A low risk, high reward move. They're not paying him much either.
Heck yeah. Definitely a smart move for the Commanders there. Not a lot of, I mean, I feel like there's not a lot of hope with the Commanders this year. I feel like
A lot of
people
people
think they,
are expecting the sophomore slump. It's a tough
yeah,
division with the Eagles and Cowboys. Um, I don't know. I think they'll be not in contention for the division. I think they'll be a wild card team again or somewhere in that pack.
fair. All right, and we got our final point here in the NFL. We've had a few players announce their retirement this past week. Tight end Jimmy Graham, quarterback Philip Rivers, wide receiver Mike Williams, and Super Bowl champion Tyron Matthew. What are your thoughts on these guys announcing retirements? I'm sure we'll hear even more, just little blurbs as the season quickly approaches here.
Yeah, Philip Rivers has been coaching high school football, I think, for 3 years. I don't know how he just announced his retirement, but obviously, good quarterback, good guy. Mike Williams was a Steeler last year, and then he signs a deal with the Chargers to go back to the Chargers this offseason. Going into training camp, just retires. That was a crazy move. Or maybe it was at OTAs. I don't even remember. But Mike Williams retires mid practice. I don't really know what happened there.
That's
He's only he
crazy.
only played like 7 years in the NFL, so that was a weird one. And then obviously Tyron Matthew. My cousin always loved him. LSU Tiger, the Honey Badger, Cardinals. He was great on the Chiefs. Obviously, is where he's obviously most known for winning those Super Bowls, finishing things up down in New Orleans. Um, Great player. Good list of players there. Obviously, some of these guys, tough to see guys like Tyron Matthew retire because like he was coming in the league. I feel like when we were in high school, and like that's like holy shit, I'm old as shit.
Definitely an interesting one. Yeah, Philip Rivers, like you said, has been coaching high school football for
You look that up. Is it
years.
3 years?
Let me look it up.
I think it's at least three. I know he's been coaching for at least 2 years. I saw something about it today on
His
Twitter. I
debut
was like,
was in 2021.
he started coaching in 2021,
Yeah.
so he's done say 3 seasons.
Yes, he's going into his fourth.
Yeah, and he just announced his retirement.
49-0 victory on his high school coaching debut.
A victory.
Yeah,
Yeah, his team's probably nasty.
I agree.
Those former NFL players that go coach high school, they only go coach like nasty schools or their alma mater.
St. Michael's Catholic Cardinals in
Yeah, they're
Alabama.
usually like schools that can afford to bring in someone with that kind of name and pay him like actually what he's worth.
Right. Jeez.
Like I can tell you, Philip Rivers isn't making four, or he might just say keep the salary. I don't need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Seriously.
But
Jeez.
there's no way they're offering him $40,000 a year to be a head coach. Like he'd be like, just keep it.
Alrighty, that's going to wrap up everything we got in the NFL here this week. Let's jump over to the NBA here. Starting out, Damian Lillard will return to the Portland Trail Blazers after agreeing to a 3-year, $42 million deal. Lillard spent just 2 seasons in Milwaukee and now will return to Portland, where he made a name for himself. Can Dame help this young Blazers team in the West, or they still need a few years of experience to get on that level? What are you thinking?
They have some nice pieces. Scoot Henderson, a couple other pieces over there in Portland. I'm blanking on a few of them. Shaden Sharp. I didn't know this. When Dame went to Milwaukee, I guess his family and kids stayed in Portland.
Oh.
So for the past 2 years, he wasn't living with his family, wasn't living with his kids. So I didn't know that the writing was kind of on the wall that he was going to go back there like this. And honestly, props to Portland for giving him all that money. They could have easily been like, if you want to come back here, we'll take you on like a friendly discount. But they still pay him. He's obviously, him, Drexler, however you want to say it. Him 1-2, 1A, 1B. I think those are the two best players in franchise history. So see them bring him back for maybe a retirement tour over these 3 years. But also a veteran presence in that very young locker room. I think it'll help guys like Henderson out, a couple other their young players. I think getting a true professional in there and like Dame, I wouldn't be surprised. I guess play-in is in question, is in the picture here for this Portland team now. I always forget that the play-in tournament goes all the way down to the 10 seed in the West and the East. So definitely they could be one of the top 10 teams in the West. I'm not going to say they make the playoffs, but I could see them be like a losing playing team.
Definitely an interesting move there. I did not know his family stayed back, but
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I heard that on ESPN the one day.
definitely made the decision easier. That's for sure. Alrighty, into our next point here in the NBA. Chris Paul's agreed to terms with the LA Clippers on a 1-year, $3.6 million deal. The deal brings CP3 back to LA, where he played from 2011 to 2017. Can this reloaded Clippers teams compete in the West? And definitely interesting. A lot of signings of players coming back to their former teams. I've heard this.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Huff?
Yeah, so obviously Lillard, now CP3 going back to the Clippers, not where he started, but where he signed that big deal after leaving New Orleans, where he got drafted. But this Clippers team is just a 2016 All Star team at this point with Leonard. They just brought in Beal, Chris Paul, all the pieces they had last year. I'm forgetting on the other name that is in that big list, but um, Clippers, they'll be good next year. They were in the series with the Nuggets. I think they'll be around that same picture next year. I like the team across town a little more, but I think this Clippers team will be pretty good next year.
Heck yeah, definitely hopefully a good year for all the LA teams there in LA or in the NBA, excuse me, because we have another one here. Marcus Smart has agreed to a 2-year, $11 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. Does Smart come in and make an impact on this Lakers team? And then I got another question about the Lakers after this,
I think
actually.
he. I think it's a good move. Low money for a guy that's been in the NBA. Not won a ring, but he went to the finals with the Celtics. He's been in all those far playoff series with the Celtics. Went down to Memphis, helped them kind of get to that point they were last year in the regular season, where they were one of those teams to mess with. And then he moves on from there. Now he's coming over to LA. I like this move or pickup by the Lakers. You have Luca, AR, LeBron. Now you get a guy like Marcus Smart to come in and play some defense. I like this move a lot for the Lakers.
Heck yeah. Alrighty, lots to look forward to in the NBA as we continue to approach that season. Um, Here, just in the summer league games. Have you watched any of the summer league?
I haven't watched much. I watched the first game of Cooper Flag and Bronny, but neither of them did anything too special. I haven't watched much of it. If baseball's on and that's on, I usually just flick to a random baseball game.
Alrighty, let's move forward to the MLB here. The MLB trade deadline is quickly approaching here on July 30th. What teams are buyers? What teams are sellers? Huff, you have any input on that?
Yeah, I think obviously the sellers are going to be our Pirates. I think there's some rumors of Mitch Keller, Brian
Great.
Reynolds, Brian Hayes, a couple of these pieces. Basically, anyone not named O'Neill Cruz or Paul Skeens could get traded this deadline. There's a couple other, obviously some of those young pitchers. Pirates aren't going to move on from them. But I could see us trade a Mitch Keller. The teams that are in the conversation there, the Cubs, the Yankees, the Mets, obviously the two that are always in it. But the people are saying the Cubs are emerging as the most realistic spot for him. They're only with 4 starters right now. They're having that bullpen day every fifth day. And the Cubs they just lost today to the Royals. I think this is a team that they're definitely in contention. The Brewers are absolutely on fire right now, or the Cubs would be leading that division. They were all season until the Cubs or Brewers just ripped off that crazy win streak. I think the Cubs are a team to look out for in the deadline. When is it? The 30th, 31st?
30th.
Yeah, I think they'll be heavy buyers. I still think they should re-sign Kyle Tucker as soon as possible, but doesn't look like that deal is going to get done till the offseason. Brian Hayes to the Yankees is a move most people are going to expect to happen. I love him. He's one of my favorite Pirates. Signed this long term deal here, not making a ton of money, just because it was guaranteed. Wanted to stick with the team that drafted him. He's a Gold Glove defensive third baseman, not the best offensive player. That kind of fit will work very well with this Yankees team, where the top of their lineup is going to get the hit, the power. And Hayes you can kind of bury him in that 8-9 spot and not have to worry about him if he's batting 187. I think he's batting around 245. So not terrible for someone that's not known for their offense, but a couple guys I don't want to see us move on from Hayes. Reynolds, on the other hand, I think his time has come up in Pittsburgh personally. I don't know if they're going to move him. I think maybe a change of scenery, something could help him out. He had a good game today. But I think that I just don't see us win with him, and I don't think that's his fault. I think that's obviously, you could point a lot of other ways, but a piece like that, if you can get the right asking price at the deadline, you gotta do it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that, to be
I
honest
don't
with
know who like the big guys expected to get traded are. If there's anyone like I know
you.
Eugenio Suarez on the
Uh,
Diamondbacks.
that's who I saw.
Yankees
Suarez,
are looking for him.
how's Hesley or
Andrew
that?
Heaney on the Pirates, another
Yep.
one looking to get traded. They think he made his last start as a Pirate. Is it? Do you have a list pulled up of like who's expected to get traded?
Yeah, I mean, there's just guys that seem to be like on the block. Johan Duran, I don't know who that is. I don't know.
Durant, is that the Minnesota Twins pitcher?
Yeah,
Closer, yeah.
and
Yeah, Twins
then
have been shaky. They're
Vinny
tied with
Pasquinto, that first baseman from Kansas
Kansas
City.
City, Pasquantino or something.
Escantino, yeah. Alcantara.
Yeah, Miami.
Um, says Mitch Keller for the Pirates.
Yeah.
That's
I
about
like
it.
Mitch Keller. I hope we don't trade him, but
I do
he's
too.
not having
I
a
don't
great
know.
year
I don't
this
know what his
year.
money looks like. Not that
He's a
that
lot,
matters, but
yeah. He's any. My thing is anyone that actually chooses to resign with the Pirates, I'm like, just don't trade them. You
right.
guys can't get anyone to agree to a deal. When you finally get people to agree to a deal, just let them play it out.
Yeah,
Or trade
seriously.
them like a year left on their deal. Like I don't know, he could be a free agent next summer, and I don't know. Like he has one more year under contract, and like this is a smart time to trade him. I have no clue, but he's a guy. He's been here his whole career. I'd like to see him not retire a Pirate. Not like he's gonna be an all time great, but he's a good guy to have in this rotation with Skeens, Jones, Keller. He's a great day 3, day 4 guy.
Yeah, I don't think his contract is up next year.
Yeah, I think he has like he signed like a
He
5 year
signed a
deal here.
5-year extension last year.
Yeah, they just signed him. Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, and they're thinking about getting rid of him, of course.
That's what I
Classic
mean. They're
Pirates.
like they're worried Skeens isn't going to sign here. The players that do sign here, you trade anyway.
Yeah,
So I don't know what the difference is if he leaves or you just trade him.
so sad. Just so sad.
That's correct. I didn't know he had 4 years left on his deal. That
Yeah.
pisses me off a little bit. I hope they don't trade him
Why
now.
do you why do you re-sign him last year? Like I understand like maybe halfway through the contract
The
it
other
didn't
thing
work
is
out
like
for you.
teams like the Yankees love when the Pirates get those guys on cheap deals because then they're like,
Yeah,
now we'll trade for you because you're under contract making $8 million a year
right.
when we would have had to pay you 20.
Yeah. You're
You know what
exactly
I
right.
mean? Like that's why they're foaming at the mouth to get Hayes. They'd rather Hayes over Suarez because I think Suarez is a free agent either this year or next year, so they're gonna have to pay him. Hayes is under contract for 4 more years, making $7 million a year. To the Yankees, they'll find $7 million a year in their couch.
Yeah, literally.
Like they're like, yeah, sure, you want to be our starting third baseman, making $7 million? Yeah, come on over.
Please.
Pirates are like, that's our highest paid player. One of them.
Alrighty. Lots of good stuff there. Like we said, MLB trade deadline quickly approaching July 30th here, just 1 week away. So definitely more on that next week in our show. Let's jump into our power rankings here real quick in the MLB. Coming in at number 5, the Detroit Tigers. Number 4, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Number 3, the Chicago Cubs. Number 2, the Toronto Blue Jays. And number 1, the Milwaukee Brewers. I don't think we did power rankings last week, but this list feels different.
It is a lot different. The Brewers have won 13 of their last 15 games. They lost a 1-0 game yesterday, but they were on a I think 11-game heater before that, so they're now 12-1 in their last 13. They're absolutely buzzing. They took over the NL Central from the Cubs, who have the second best record, and that's who was leading the division all season long. Brewers come in, steal some games, win, obviously go on that crazy win streak. They're now sitting at 61-41 for the best record in the major leagues. Cubs right behind them at 60-42. And then obviously Houston, who didn't make our top 5, they were kind of sliding a little bit. They're now on a 3-game win streak when we're recording this, but 4-6 in their last 10. That number 2 team, Toronto, they did the same thing. They went on a crazy win streak. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They've been playing some good baseball. They lost last night to the Yankees. But that was a tough one. We had them on the card. I thought they were going to do it when they came back and tied that at 4-4. Yankees ended up winning 5-4. Um, Tigers sliding, just got swept by the Pirates. Never a good look.
That's
Pirates
crazy.
Pirates love to do that to good teams. It never surprised me when they do that anymore. And then they'll let the White Sox, like literally the games before we played Detroit, the White Sox, one of the worst teams in baseball, comes in, sweeps us. We sweep the Tigers. Why isn't the other way around? I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. 3-3 anyway after those 2 series. But Cubs, a team I said to look out for at the trade deadline. Dodgers, who I think at one point were not on our list, which is crazy. Obviously, the lineup they have, they should always be on here. They're catching their stride. They're playing Minnesota right now. They're tied 2-2. I think they handle business and win this game. But I was telling Ace plus 240 to win the World Series, and the Dodgers is crazy. A lot of people jumping on the Brewers right now to win the World Series, so I'd make sure you watch the odds if you're buying in on that. I've seen a lot of money coming in on the Brewers. Although I do like them. A good bet for them now is now that there's a good race for the division. I don't know the divisional odds, but Cubs and Brewers are obviously the two teams. I would like the Brewers to end up in the NL Central to win that division.
Heck yeah, like that a lot. Yeah, definitely weird to see the Dodgers so low on that list. Brewers so high. Not that I dislike the Brewers, but just not a name that I feel like I see a lot.
Yeah, they didn't really do anything until I mean they're Mr. Consistent. They're always
Yep.
good, but the
Never
past
at the top,
month
never at the bottom.
they've been fire. They've been on absolute fire.
Heck yeah, lots of good stuff out of the MLB power rankings. Trade deadline approaching here. More on that here next week. Let's jump into the golf world here. We got a little point on Sunday at Royal Portrush in Northern Ireland. Scotty Scheffler won the Open Championship by 4 shots to capture his 4th major overall and 2nd of 2025. Any thoughts on this, Huff? I have some interesting stats on Scotty next after this
Yeah,
year tournament.
I said on Thursday I had him at plus 550. Take this guy every major. I know I gave out a couple value picks, but that's why you take Scheffler every time because when he comes out in that kind of form like he did on Friday, shot that 64. You knew it was his tournament to lose. Goes into Sunday with what a 4-shot lead or a 3-shot lead. He was 10 under or 14 under, and the next guy was 10 under. I think it was for Haotong Lee. But Scotty never looked back. He took the lead. I said to the people I was watching the golf with on Sunday, this just seems like one of those tournaments he's going to win by 6-7 strokes and never even become a question if he's going to win it. He wins by 4, but it was never a question. Haotong Lee, the guy he was playing with, they asked him, what does this mean to you? He even pointed out, like, playing with Scotty on Sunday at a major, like he was more kind of in the moment rather than trying to win a golf tournament. Obviously, he was doing what he could do, but he knew what the way Scotty was playing last weekend, he wasn't going to come out on top. And um, he's the best golfer in the world. Now he'll be going for the Grand Slam at Shinnecock in June. On his 30th birthday is Sunday at the U.S. Open in 2026. So that would be a hell of a story. He might be minus 120 going into that tournament because of how many people are going to bet him for that reason. But you bet your ass I'll still take him at minus money.
Yeah, he looked dominant, especially after that first day. Just not doing spectacular on that first day and then just coming back and just killing it.
Yeah. It's like Bryson too.
Yeah.
Bryson started what 7 over, shot a 78 on Thursday, comes out, and then I think he said I don't know how to word the stat. The best score over the second, third, and fourth rounds of a tournament without placing top 5 or 10.
Wow.
And it's just because he played so bad the first day.
That's crazy.
If he would have shot like 2 over, he would have been in the top 5.
Wow.
He missed the top whatever by I don't know what he actually ended up getting. Let me look. Because he went like his scores were crazy. I know he shot a 78 on Thursday. Then I want to say he came out and shot but that's the Open. Let me see here. I want to say he came out and shot 65. Yeah, so he went 78, 65, 68, 64 on Sunday.
Jeez.
For a combined par was what? 71?
71 or is it 70?
I think it was 71 there. So we'll say 6 strokes, 6 under on Friday. So he was 7 over on Thursday because he shot 78. Then he was 6 under, 3 under, 7 under. So he was 16 under over the last 3 days. And he finished tied for 10th. It was top 5. It was the stat was to make top 5 because he finished tied for 10th.
That's mad. Yeah. Well, good for him. I like Bryson. Never.
Yeah. Xander, defending champion, was in there too, tied
Right.
7th. And then Harris English, second place finish at a major this year.
Jeez.
He'll be on the U.S. Ryder Cup team. So
Heck yeah.
that'll
I'm
be
excited to
excited
talk
to
about
see
the
him.
Ryder Cup when that comes up. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick here. I got some interesting stats about Scotty after this past victory this weekend. Scotty played the par 3s in 6 under for the week, the best par 3 performance in Open history. He was 59 for 63 on putts 10 foot and in.
That's disgusting. What's that percentage? 59
divided by
63. 94%.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
I'm not 94% from 1-footers.
From gimmies. He has now won 12 times since March of 2024. He is 111 under par in majors since the beginning of 2020, 46 shots better than anyone else in that span.
Jesus Christ.
And he's converted 10 straight outright 54-hole leads.
I did see this.
Tiger has the record with 36.
Yeah.
That's
It's
crazy. Even 10 lead, is crazy.
If he gets a lead going into Sunday, he doesn't lose it.
Yeah. Like, oh my gosh.
That's why I think he was minus 6,000 going into Sunday.
I believe it. I believe it.
Like, I was going into Sunday, I was like, should I bet somebody else? Because like the second guy to win, I don't even remember who it was. Say it was Harris English who got second, but like he was probably plus 4,000.
Right.
You know what I mean? To win, you wouldn't have got him because they don't really let you do top fives on the last round. Because I was gonna try to bet Goddard up top 5. I thought he was gonna be the only guy that could catch Scotty, somewhat catch him, and that's exactly what happened. I think he ended up third.
So for the Open, it says Scotty was minus 600 going into the final round.
600, not 6,000. Okay.
But minus 160 going into the third round, plus 250 going in the second round, plus 600 going in the first round. It seems a little high. Maybe that changed.
I think it was 550.
Yeah.
That's what I got him at, was 550. I was glad to see him up from 550 because at I think it was the US Open, he was like plus 300. I was like, I'll take it, but taking someone in a major, 160 golfers, like,
yeah,
I need a little more value on that. And he didn't play good at Oakmont. That's why winning score was even or 1 under.
I'm trying to find. I can't find. Oh, there he is. Yeah. Jeez. Alrighty, yeah, lots of good stuff there out of the golf world. More on that as we have a couple more PGA Tour events before we get into the Ryder Cup here in September. I'm excited about that. That's gonna be lots of fun. Anything else to add, Huff, before we get out of here?
Not really. 3M Open this weekend. Not a big tournament. Next big one I'd say is either the FedEx or the BMW coming up in the next couple weeks. I don't even know if any of the big dogs are playing in this tournament. Usually, most of them take off the week after the majors. The favorite to win this one: Sam Burns, Maverick McNeely, Chris Goddard up at 25-1, Wyndham Clark 25-1, Siwoo Kim plus 3,000. So if I have any plays on this, I haven't looked into this at all. So if I have any plays on this, I'll get them out on our Twitter, post them on Instagram for you guys to follow along. An early lean, I would go with Goddard. He's been playing great golf past 2 weeks, coming off a win at the Scottish Open, top 5 at the Open. Look for him to be in the picture. Plus 2,500. The favorite is plus 1,600. This is crazy. I might have to just pick someone and just hope.
It's not a bad plan.
Goddard up 25-1. Use a little 10% odds boost. Get him at 27.50. Yeah, that'd be fire. Yeah. Good weekend. Obviously MLB's back off the All-Star break. So NFL coming up in a few weeks. We're slowly but surely getting there. College football will be back before we know it. And that's really it. So make sure you leave us a like, follow, share, subscribe. HitTheBooks.pod on Instagram, HitTheBooks Sports, YouTube, and TikTok. Leave us a follow. We appreciate it. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week.